All right, welcome back. We're doing a quick video today on substitutions and ideas for specifically when going from a minor to a suspended to a one. So basically, like your 6-7-1 or your 2-3-4. We're going to be in the key of A, and we're just going to use the song Intentional. Older song, but I think it gets the idea across. So let's check it out. I'm going to play it regular.
All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional, he's never failing.
Okay, so that regular progression here, you see the first half of it is 6, all right, 7, 1. And then the second half of that progression is 2, 3, 4, all right? And let's give you that scale real quick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're back home, all right? So now let's play through some ideas. What I want to point out here is the same thing we have here, all right? The same thing we have here, we essentially have those same shapes, minor, slash chord, back to a major, back to the harmonic major to be in fact. So anything you do here, you can do here. All right, cool. So let's just play around with some ideas here.
All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional, he's never failing. All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional, he's never failing. All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional, he's never failing. All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional, he's never failing. All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional, he's never failing.
All right, so a lot of things went on, a lot more could have went on because I didn't really get into the we didn't really get too transitional with it. So what we did for some substitutions here where we looked at the structure of the chord here. So what we needed in order to make this work was in our right hand, ignoring the bass line, 1, 5, 1. All right, just for that first part, right? So if I 1, 5, 1, it's gonna look like this: 1 over 6, 5, 1. All right. Then moving on to the second part, we have 4, 1, 4. All right, so 2, 4, 1, 4. Now, if you think about that, anything we put over that essentially is going to work, right? So that's the secret to it all. So um, I could sit here and I can explain to you what I just did, and I will. But also, we're going to get into things that I didn't even do. But the cool thing is, as soon as you think of it, you can just do it, right? So one of the things that we did was, let's see. So we had a transitional chord, and then we went into this, and then we did the 5, right? And then we did 1. But instead of a boring 5, we used a dominant 5 because we're going to our 1. All right. We could do the same thing going to our 2. All right. And then we went to our 2. But what we could have done is going to our flat 7. All right. You can always put that flat 7 over the 2. And then I could walk this forward, or I could walk this backwards. Right? I think at the end I turned this into a dominant. All right, because I can use this, or I can use this. Okay, good food for thought. You can use it. And why does that work? All right, because you have a tritone substitution. So just like I can say, you know, oh, we can, we can really get theoretical here, and we can say, right, you can do a minor fourth, and those of y'all know, right? Okay, so that was the basics of a lot of those substitutions right there. All right, now we're going to talk about some of the chord substitutions where we completely change the whole melody of the chord. So we know that anything we do like this will work, even if let's pick something random here, right? Something real random. That actually works. If I play it.
All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good.
All right. So anyway, now let's get into some actual chord substitutions here. So we can use it's called like a mediant substitution. So we can use the 4 instead of the 6, so we can use the 4 over the 6, right? So we can say this, or we can do this. All right. Now, why does that work? If I make a 4 chord and put the 6 over it, you'll see that I've just made a major 7. All right. So that's why that works there. So we can do these type of formations here. Use the same chord here. All right. And then I can use this dominant, because why would I use this dominant? Because it sounds like I'm going to the 4. And I could go to the 4. All these are awesome things, man. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm rambling. It's just so much information that I just want to get out. And I could break down these little bitty concepts, but I really want to throw these ideas out there, because it's not about just learning. It's not about just learning, okay, yeah, I know how to do that one movement, but it's about learning why it works. And what I'm trying to say is that if you learn what the actual chords are, and if you learn what these substitutions are, right? So that's a substitution, right? Same thing I can do on the 2, right? Another substitution you can make. Instead of the 6, I can play the 1. All right. Instead of the 2, I can play the 4. Okay. So then we can begin to play with that. Right. So I just walked it down. And then I made a substitution for the 4. I basically made the 4 dominant. I just didn't do the full tritone there. All right. What else did I do? So then I did a full walk down, right? I did this right here.
All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional. He's never failing. All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional. He's never failing.
So, I mean, so much stuff you can do right there. So I did that walk down. So we had all things are working for my good. And then I knew that I can go to the 4, so I just continued the progression. So I had a melody note, intentional, which is why I didn't go this route. Because there are a lot of songs that would have worked. Let's see how that would have sounded, though. Let's see how that would have sounded. It would have clashed, but let's see how it would have sounded. Maybe I can delay it.
All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things.
So the failing part worked, but you don't want to, because this part, you don't want to do that. But that just means that we could find something, and that gets into melodic substitution, right? We could find something. Let's say, let's do that. I'm just making this up. Right?
All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All things are working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional. He's never failing.
And just more and more ideas, right? So the other thing I'm doing is, and this is going to piece together a lot of these loose ends. If I land on a chord, right? So for example, I want to use this flat 7, right? On he's intentional, right? If I land on a chord, I can then use different bass notes that correspond with that chord. I'm hoping this helps, man. It's going to help somebody. Somebody's going to get it. And then they can make a better video than I made. So here we go. Right? You see how I'm doing that? Like, this is basically the same the whole time. Same thing if I for the 6. So right, let's on good. On good, let's exercise the rule we just talked about. So all our substitutions for the 1. 1 can go with 1, 1 can go with 6, 1 can go with 4, 1 can go with 3, 1 can go with 2. Right, the flat 7. Let's just on all things working for our good. Let's see what happens when I switch the 1 out.
All things are working for my good. He's intentional,
4,
never failing. All things are working for my good. Yeah, 'cause he's intentional. He's never failing. All things are working for my good. He's intentional, never failing. All
So I mean, that's some like cool stuff you can do and really play around with, right? And I'm just making this stuff up on the spot. So imagine what you can come up with when you really sit down and think about it. I mean, in any case, right? I hope this helps somebody out. And let me throw this in. Check out my older videos, man. The basic series. Um, it's a lot of videos, man. Not a lot of people have really looked at, and I really did break this stuff down in complete detail. These breakdowns of things right now are just idea videos where it's like, hey, look, explore these concepts, open your ear up to this sound, see what you can come up with, and kind of share that information with me as well. So, like I said, hope you enjoy it, and just continue to be on the lookout for more new stuff and more detailed videos. And I'll probably come back and do some more things, even to this sound right here. So, in any case, man, y'all have a good one. Peace, like, subscribe.